Good morning, everybody. Hope you're having a beautiful Friday. I'm still drinking my coffee this morning. Okay, so it's 10:30 on the dot. I'm randomly coming on here to my spiritual support team, so thanks everyone who's joining me here. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about what we can expect for, I'm going to say, like, our weekend focus, okay? So sometimes that means Friday to Monday, depending on your situation, give or take. That's going to be the goal here, okay? So I'm feeling like the energy is really kind of rocky right now. So let me know if you're feeling that, even if you're catching this on the replay. And what I mean by rocky is it just feels like everybody has this need right now to just go like inward or to go really outward, and it doesn't feel like there's much in between that. So it might look like someone who really needs a vacation, and then you might find there's someone who has been doing too much outside work. What they really need to do is drop into their heart space. So if you're hopping on, let me know if you would like your own message, and I'm also going to pull up cards again for the energy of this weekend. Okay, something I offer sometimes, but it just felt right to do today. So we're gonna do it so that we're gonna have like a pile, okay? So there's gonna be a pile 1, a pile 2, and a pile 3. And that might be what you feel more drawn towards, okay? So I've got 2 cards for pile 1, so you could even energetically pick that. Okay, there's 3 in pile 2. Please, guys, also make sure you're following me underneath TikTok, because I do a lot of readings under there, and I'm going to probably start to do paid readings as well, so it might be like a $5 card reading, but also like where you can come on the screen with me if you want to, okay? So again, if you're hopping on, just say hello. Perhaps I can't see the comments if people are commenting, but if you haven't commented, please say hello, and that way if I don't see the comment, then I know I'll probably be able to see them here on my phone. Okay, so we're just talking about a lot going on right now. So some people are way too... Someone's saying hi. Okay, great. Thank you. So if you want your own message, let me know. Also, you can pick pile number 1, 2, or 3, just energetically, whatever you feel called towards. So I don't know if you connect to this as well, but do you feel like you need to go on like a big vacation and get away, or do you feel like you need to go drop into your heart space? Which one are you? And do you relate to that at all? That would be nice to know. So I'm going to start with pile number 2. So I am seeing the comments. Thank you for letting me know, and good morning. I just need a sip of my coffee here. A lot of energy happening. I'm feeling like a lot of stuff actually coming up from my heart. So it feels like solar plexus, heart, throat. And the reason why that, so it might be related to people picking card number 2. And again, my throat chakra is just feeling like really dry all of a sudden. So what happens is when we're doing some energy work and somebody has some stuck energy in the chest, which is like right here, we've got to get that out of us, right? So because we don't want it to be stuck in here. We want it to be dropping up to the crown, or dropping down to the root chakra, down to the earth, one way or the other. Okay, so the other way, sometimes we can release energy through our hands as well by doing creative things. So our next full moon, June 4th, is going to be all about creativity. So that might be something that you feel blocked in right now, and you need to start writing again, or journaling, or digging in the dirt, or baking, or sewing, or doing all of the things that bring in good energy, like crystal healing, stuff like that. Okay, I'm having surgery on Monday. Can you pick a card for me? Yes. So we'll pick a card out of pile 2. So this might still be related to you. You might have fears around that surgery. You could definitely benefit from my meditation program, Jacqueline. It's 111. There's 5 spots still available. We get together 6 times, 6 Mondays. So even if you can't make it, you can get the recording and it's still beneficial to you. especially with all the theta healing that comes up for people if you struggle with overthinking, which I think many of you do. So, Jacqueline, what you have here, hello. So if you'd like a message, just let me know, and also pick pile number 1, 2, or 3 if you want to participate. This is again for the energy for this weekend, keep in mind. So it's not just like for the now, it's also over this weekend. So if things don't relate to you, but then they start to relate to you, focus on the tools that I'm suggesting, okay? As I was talking about using our hands, doing some meditations, earthing yourself more as well, putting your hand on your heart, going inward. So, Jacqueline, you have happy times, make positive, optimistic, long-term plans on the right path. So whenever we see this star card, it brightens up everything. It tells us that things are going to be successful, and it's more about your ability to make things successful. Okay, because a lot of times when we have success in our life, it's because we are we're making that happen. Okay, success doesn't just fall on our lap. It might for some people, but the majority of the time we've worked really hard to get there. So aside from just the surgery portion of things, I get that there's a really beautiful angelic energy around you. So if you're worried about like protection, call in your angels, but also trust that your angels are there supporting you with your surgery. Okay, it feels like that might be a fear of yours, so for you it feels more heart related. So just reminding yourselves to trust a bit more, have faith a bit more, because the only thing with surgery that I find, there's lots of different surgeries. I feel like taking a breath, like somebody might be feeling anxious on here right now. The only thing with that is that when we go into surgery, the energy of it can create issues in our internal energetic field. So that might be something that you want to work on when you get back from surgery. Once you're feeling better, is get an energy session so that you can repair those energetic lines, okay? Because it's just like something that happens when they go in, because they're going inside and cutting things, right? So then we often will we will repair that through an energy session to kind of like line you back up, because we all have like meridian lines, and that's where people kind of start to feel a little blocked after surgery. That's it, okay? So you can feel free to book in an energy session for yourself. The other thing we can do is distant Reiki healing, which I believe you don't have your Reiki training. That's also underneath my membership group if you want to learn training on your own. Jacqueline, if you're feeling that nervous, then go in, purchase my VIP membership. Go and watch the level 2 practitioner level. Get the attunement so you feel more attuned, and then also go and do distant Reiki healing for your surgery. And that's what we do when we feel anxious, if we're going into the dentist, if we're going into the doctor, if we're going in for surgery, things like that. And it's really cool because not only does it help you prepare and relax you, but it can also send that energy to you during, and it brings in a lot of peace and healing and some pretty good insight as well. Awesome, Jacqueline. And then the Akashic Records as well, since if you're VIP, you'll also have access to learning how to go into your Akashic Records, which is beneficial for Krista as well, because I know I'm really scared of needles before I went in for my vaccination, because I know it's silly, but I get really worked up about that stuff. It's just a fear that I've had to continue to work on. So I would go into my records, and then I would do some healing on myself beforehand, just to get myself there and start to release some things as well. So that would be secondary for you, okay? But I started doing some light language before I went to go get my needle, and that doing the light language, and that might be way over your head right now. I do have a YouTube video on it, but it's a releasing tool and technique to kind of release some of that anxiety, which Reiki will also support you with. But Reiki first, level 2. And then going into your Akashic Records. And then when you go into that space beforehand, you can also, just allow yourself to feel that positive feeling, right? Trusting that whatever in that moment is exactly what you need, okay? So trust seems to be there for everyone. Okay. So, Louise, If you choose not to stay in the membership program, it's no big deal. You can stay in there for as long as you want, or you can leave whenever you want, which is really nice. I like having that with the no commitment, and everything's pre-recorded in there too, so you don't have to worry about time, which I attract a lot of people that struggle with time. So yeah, just being mindful of that as well, of time. If you're picking card number pile 2 or 3, time might be something that you're a little feeling heavy about, maybe not having enough time with someone that you love, or you didn't have enough time with someone that you lost that's crossed over, and you might even have fear that you don't have enough time in your lifetime, right? So meditation, again, my meditation program might be helpful for you, because that's going to teach you how to train yourself up here, kind of like the Reiki training, how we can send energy to the future. And then theta healing, underneath my psychic development in the VIP, you might see my 6-week psychic development program in there as well if you're browsing, and there's some theta healing stuff in there as well. I would suggest looking into, because that one, when you can start to learn how to release your own pain, hurt, trauma, anxiety, things like that. So it puts you in the driver's seat. The reason why I'm bringing that up as well is because when I started to learn about theta healing, I started to realize that I can kind of slow down time. And when I started to realize that I'm like, oh my God, I can get everything I want to get done in this time frame, it just relaxed me so much more. So we have a lot more power and control than we realize. So if you're picking group number 3 here, you've got the moon, important psychic insight. So when we're seeing and hearing the word psychic twice, you might find where we're talking about this weekend as well, today into Monday, for the people watching this, wherever you end up watching this. It might be a very strong energy for you this weekend, okay? So be mindful of that. Release fears that hold you back. I know in the readings I've been doing lately, I have people who are in their psychic and mediumship programs, but they're scared and they're questioning, okay? So I did my mediumship course last night, and we did a missing persons case. And when, it's so easy to resist things related to stuff like that. But I was really proud of myself anyway, that I could get through it. And now I'm like, oh, I can do anything, right? So if that's related to you, if you're having a hard time identifying with your own gifts and with your own talents, and you have some fears around that, obviously I can help you remove some of that energy. You can go into my membership. You can, through VIP, start working on that as well. Or you can just have a little breakthrough, which in my next week's energy reading, that's a lot of what the energy is about, is having breakthroughs, okay? So maybe just start inching your way and just kind of like forcing yourself in a gentle and kind way to start doing some of those things, okay? Because I do sense there's some enlightenment coming in for some people. So if you can kind of just overcome that, you'll be okay, okay? And trust me, I'm in the same boat as you guys are. Some of you guys are in similar classes to me. Not everybody is, but some people are. So I'm sharing some of those fears with you, and I'm experiencing it. So that's why I'm encouraging you to, because it's so healing when we can help people, but it's even more healing when we're helping ourselves overcome those fears, right? Because we're not meant to like be in fear all the time. The best feeling is overcoming a fear, right? It's just a little obstacle on your path, but we make such a big deal about it up here, okay? So spread your wings and fly, okay, guys? I also sense someone lost a grandfather that's here as well. And I feel like he's encouraging you to celebrate more, to worry a little bit less about your stress, and yes, focus on empowerment, but also like feeling stronger in your sense of self. Again, overcoming those fears and obstacles that you might have even in like being in a group setting, stuff like that, okay? That's important to know. So the moon, the star, really good cards here. That is awesome, Robin. You are so talented. Thank you. And so are you, Cheryl. So everybody has gifts, and that's what I find interesting is that we're so scared to use our own gifts, and whatever was taught to you in the past, that came up for my weekly reading for next week as well, that there are some people who think certain things are witchcraft. And even when I do some of my rituals, I'm hesitant to say the word spell because of the attachment to witchcraft, right? But in some ways, these are just limiting beliefs because they're old beliefs, right? And we're coming into the new age. So I lost my grandfather. Okay. Yeah. So Jacqueline, he's encouraging you to use your imagination more. Probably why, like, the VIP will be good. And then if you feel called after you're in the VIP, or even if you, whatever order you do it in, because I'm not gonna guide you here. Just trust, okay? Trust, because I feel like, yeah, you've got to get going on your old wiring of traditions and patterns and stuff as well. Okay. Oh, I did some animal calm yesterday after not doing any for a long time, and it turned out awesome. I was worrying that I would get messages. Okay, interesting. So it's interesting that you're worrying about tapping in. And we all do it. So I'm gonna choose the group 1, okay? Even though nobody picked it. So Ace of Fire and an upside down 9 of Fire, okay? When we see fire, that represents creativity. So that's what our next full moon is going to be all about. Let me know if you see anything in the cards or if you connect to them at all. So this is a start of our creativity. We're opening up. So maybe that's your own talents and gifts. Sounds like it. So maybe just experiencing a little bit of that this weekend if you can. And then the upside down 9 of Fire talks about not giving up, being strong. We're talking about someone going into surgery. So if everybody could send Jacqueline some good healing light, good intentions or prayers for her surgery just to help her feel more relaxed, that would be great, guys. That's what we have these beautiful group settings for. And anytime you want to ask for prayers or ask for good vibes, whatever it is, put it in here too and get people to help you. There's a lot of beautiful healers on here that never participate or share anything, but I see them. I know that they're on here. So they just hide behind the scenes, but they're beautiful healers with beautiful light. Okay, so yep, fire again, Louise. It's so interesting. I watched somebody's TikTok that I'm teaching some numerology and card readings to, and it's so cool to watch her grow. But she picked up the Pamela Kale's art cards that I've been working with lately, and the card that came up for you yesterday, the same card 3 times, came up a 4th time today. So I'm like, okay, Spirit's really telling you to get into that creativity, because creativity is such a release. It's such a relief, right? And I procrastinate creativity as well. I used to make a lot of jewelry, and then I kind of got out of that and then just started selling jewelry that I would purchase. So now I just kind of take the pendant, put it together. But I used to kind of take all the wiring and do all this stuff. And also with my tinctures, it takes me forever to actually get my tinctures all together because they have to sit for like 6 weeks, something like that. But it's easy to procrastinate is what I'm saying. Things that take time. So that's kind of our theme right now. Time is a big factor, but then we're also like, time doesn't really matter either. It feels like that's an excuse, right? I don't have the time, or things take time. It might even be money for you as well, because time and money are pretty much the exact same energy. They have different factors, but they represent the same thing. So yeah, it's like, so I have piles and piles of stuff to make products with, like everything. So there's no reason for me not to do those things now, right? So, but money might be a factor for you. Oh, I don't have the money to, go on Amazon and get the stuff to do the things or whatever it is. So again, it could just be an excuse. And if you have money blocks, come into my money blocks program. We start up May 30th. If you have questions, just ask. I'm going to be going for surgery, was just told this morning. Okay, do you know what the surgery is for? Or any details in relation to that? And what pile are you picking? Ace of Fire, I had dreams of those lights coming out of my body, multicolored. Oh, interesting. So to me, that's just talking about chakra work, Krista. So you're going to be doing the meditation program, which is fabulous. And chakra work might be great for you as well. I don't know if you have your Reiki training, but you could probably benefit from the VIP as well. I know you're working on Akashic Records, but when you get those Reiki attunements, it opens you up a lot more and you're already clairvoyant. But it's really cool, and I'm proud of you that you're having these beautiful epiphanies and aha moments and getting clarity in your dreams. So just be proud of yourself for that, okay? As in, the belief of getting creative is not important enough to take the time for it. Yeah, so usually creativity is the best gift that we can give to ourselves, right? Because it's a form of release. So if you're one of those people that has all that stuck energy in here, creativity, what I'm getting is just to make sure that the creative projects that you're doing are still somewhat spiritual, right? So, so that they are healing for you as well. To check for endometriosis. Okay, interesting. Okay, so and you didn't pick a pile. So I've got pile 2 here again. So if you were feeling called to pile 2, we also have Queen of Fire. So a lot of fire. Fire is also our intuition, using that feminine energy and being able to like work and do all the things at the same time, right? Doing intuitive and creative work doesn't necessarily mean we even have to stop to do those things. For instance, I'm being creative right now, but I'm also doing that throughout the day by just using my intuition, by having my cards, by writing things down. So being a multitasker, where you guys have the success card as well, that's definitely, it's your ability to do all the things and not feel burnout and not feel drained. So keep your energy up as well. So if we're in our head too much, that will definitely drain us. So it's not always what other people are doing to us as much as it is what people are saying and the overwhelm and stuff. So if you can just kind of, maybe if you're picking card number 2, maybe minimize your exposure to people over the weekend, that might be helpful for you. Okay. You also have Page of Earth, which talks about this person who needs to have a little bit more patience with their manifestations. That came up for someone in a reading that's in my Money Blocks program. She kind of like, this is common too, they go to manifest, but then it hasn't happened yet, so they get impatient and then they kind of self-destruct a little bit. So it's also not feeling worthy of the money or of the things, because when we're working on money, it's not just money, it's the things that are valuable to us, right? The emotions that we're desiring. So we have to feel worthy of those things. So if you're picking card number 2, you've got to feel worthy of inviting those new things in, or those new emotions in as well. So that feels very heart chakra related. So just trust that everybody's going through this, not just you, which is why we're picking piles. Okay, we're not picking on anybody here. And then in pile number 3, we've got the Empress. Okay, that's working with more feminine energy. So getting out of your masculine. So masculine is when we're like leading everything, we're controlling everything. This energy this weekend talks a little bit more about freeing yourself up to be more free-flowing. So if somebody asks you to go on a coffee date, you can say yes, because you're not scheduling all this heavy stuff and too much planning, okay? Strength talks about discipline as well. Sometimes we have to make ourselves move our bodies, exercise, do some things that you might not feel like doing. For instance, if it's going out with some girlfriends or something like that, or boyfriends, whatever it is. Sometimes we get too comfortable, and we need to get out of that everyday space, like getting out of your home, like get your body moving a bit more. It might even be related to your health as well. There might be some things that you need to do for your health this weekend, which you've been procrastinating. I have my yoga training every single weekend. I can't say I do my yoga training every single weekend, but again, look at what you're procrastinating. Tune into what it is that you need, okay? So yeah, we've got Knight of Earth, time to buckle down and get things done, honor your commitments, a guardian angel. So we're gonna end there kind of talking about angels, as Jacqueline was talking about her fears and things like that. So angels are something, again, that we just call in for more support, for more comfort. If we're running on the anxious side, if we're starting to think about surgeries, which is a couple people that's coming up. So if you're going too far into the future, group number 3 especially, just allow yourself to become a little bit more like present by checking in. And I think I mentioned that on my Instagram maybe yesterday and the day before. That was coming up for our group there. So you might want to go back and listen to some of those videos if you feel called. Okay? So nobody else is asking for a message or anything like that. I'm proud of you guys. I sense a lot of you guys are actually moving forward. And there are a lot of people that are feeling really stuck right now. They just have tremendous fear on moving forward. And so again, as the week comes in next week, please make sure you watch the weekly reading underneath YouTube. As the week comes in, it's still not going to be light, that's for sure. So do your best to transition with love and peace and things like that, right? Because we've gone through so much stuff with so much conflict and things like that. So yeah, just like be a little easier on yourself. And I'm hearing the Adele song, "Go easy on me, baby." So maybe listen to that song, Jacqueline, when you're in the hospital. I sent you a message. It's time for me to come forward of my fears. I love that. I love that. So perfect, guys. I hope you have an amazing weekend. I'm going to take my mother-in-law here to her hair appointment. And then I'm going to have a nice lunch date with her. She actually had a major serious surgery, as we're speaking of that. And I looked after her after her surgery, and she was a lot more sick than we thought she was going to be. So it's been a journey. It's been over 3 years, and I did ask for prayers for her as well in our prayer group for some people that are in a different space. That was really helpful for her. So even though it was an intense journey, she's actually healing really well. And in some ways, she's just very lucky to be alive. So, yeah, like it doesn't matter how old you are. We're all kind of like dealing with their own battles and sicknesses in one shape or form or another. So nobody is safe when it comes to negative emotions, and nobody is egoless either, right? We're all struggling with like healing on a daily basis. So yeah, be kind to yourselves more than anything. Take it easy and have a beautiful day. Bye for now. Love sent to her. Thank you. Yes, she still needs it a lot, and the whole family. So thank you. Bye-bye. Take care.